Hello, Felipe.
Hello, hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and everyone here. It's an immense pleasure to start the year talking about Cartesi with the Cartesi community. We are in 2025. Everybody's healthy and good, doing well, I presume. So I think we have
Yes.
many reasons to be happy and grateful. Uh, how can we start today, Felipe? I think I have lots of things to talk. I think there are some good review about 2024 I can go through, and also talk about the plans for Cartesi in 2025, and then later we'll invite the collaborators, grantees to give their updates as well, right? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I think that's a good way to do it today. It's a pleasure to be here on another January on Cartesi. Lovely. I mean, I love New Year's. It's my favorite date. I think it's very symbolic and it gives you a, I mean, it's not intrinsically important, but as a symbol, it allows us to think of like ourselves and what we're doing and what can change and set up new goals or intentions. So I'm always excited about it. Uh,
Yeah.
and I've also been thinking a lot about what happened to Cartesi last year and what we're gonna do on this next year. And it's exciting. I think we had a great last year, and I think we'll have an even better year this time. So yeah, I'm doing great. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm spending some time in Brazil. Had a chance to stay with my family. Everything going well. And yeah, let's dive into it. I like to start by saying that uh, I think in last year, throughout last year, we saw that Ethereum has been like hit. It's not very popular recently. There are all these discussions and criticism happening around the Ethereum ecosystem. Apparently, L2s are also not at their highest points in terms of narrative and attention from the public in Web3. But even with all of that, I think the infrastructure that we are building, even Ethereum is building, is super important, and it's going to be much more relevant in the future, because I see that finally we're starting to move away from the early stages of Web3, of DeFi, collectibles, meme coins. There are new things shaping up, appearing in this cycle, like AIs, bots, agents, and how they intersect with blockchains. It's a very exciting field.
And scary.
Also very scary, by the way, but it's both. Um, but one of the things that I like about this is that we're starting to see new things happening in Web3, right? So I think there are many possibilities coming up, shaping up. And I think that Cartesi is gradually getting its space in the industry and getting the recognition that it deserves. We all share the opinion here that Cartesi was kind of ahead of its time. Well, in the past, people were really like focused on the EVM ecosystem and the EVM capabilities. And it was pretty much enough for the applications that we had in the previous cycles of Web3. If you want to do DeFi, if you want to do meme coins, if you want to do NFTs, collectibles, you don't need anything else than the EVM itself. You have a very basic programmability, and that's enough for you. But I guess all of us, even the founders, the fathers and mothers of Web3, they have been waiting for the moments in which Web3 will have more interesting applications. So we used to say that if you want to build a meme coin or a simple DeFi, please don't come to Cartesi. Please build more interesting things with Cartesi, because that's why we're here, right? We're here because we looked at a future in which something like Cartesi would be necessary. Something like a real operating system where people can use all the tools and frameworks and rely on software abstraction to its fullest, one day would be necessary. And actually, Cartesi is the best execution environments out there. And I say that without any worry in my mind. I think you can also say that, Felipe.
Right? No false humility. We are the best execution out there, and the proof of that is that it's the execution environment that people use outside of the blockchain industry, right? I mean, I'll a slightly faster version, but that's the version. So I've been thinking on the holidays about this concept. Like, we're trying to do decentralized computing, but somehow we're losing the computing part of it, right? And we assume that that's how it should go. But actually, we want to do decentralized computing and decentralized applications without losing the power and expressiveness of these applications, or without losing the computing capabilities. Of course, that's a huge engineering challenge, but it's a challenge that we started tackling in 2018 and that we have made immense progress on, right? And I think this story that you tell, I think it's a great story, and it's very underappreciated. And part of the reason why we grew so much last year was, of course, part of it was our merit and our hard work and the way that we organized and all the great contributors that we have. But part of it is that what we're doing is more understood by the others, right? So we started doing app chains and alt VMs back in 2018, and we didn't really have the vocabulary and the words to explain this to people, right? And then it all sounded very sci-fi and very insane. And now that we have other projects that are trying to achieve similar goals, we have a shared vocabulary to talk about the things we're building, and it helps the others to understand it. But that just doesn't change the fact that we have this, the Cartesi machine, which is the pinnacle of what we bring to the table. It doesn't change that we've been working on that since 2018. We always only started calling it alt VM in the middle of last year, maybe, but the engineering and the research, the effort has been poured into it since 2018, and that's why it's like the best execution environment out there. And by the way, the effort has been to transform this execution environment into something compatible to the blockchain. We're not even talking about the effort that it took to, say, draw the RISC-V ISA or the Linux operating system, right? If you add those engineering years and these research years to the calculation, then it's easy to understand why we can say that we're the best execution environment without
No, that's very well said. Did you finish what you wanted to say?
No, go for it.
Yeah,
I have some comments about the start of your story about Ethereum and layer 2s, but I can get into that later.
I mean, the two major components to Cartesi now. I hope you can still see me. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. You froze for a while. I don't know if it was my internet or yours.
Probably my internet. So I was saying there are two main, let's say, lines of work this year, or two main components of Cartesi that need to be well understood by everyone that likes Cartesi and follow our work. One is, of course, the Alt VM, the Cartesi machine that we have built that allows all this flexibility in terms of programmability and building new use cases for Web3, right? We have been stressing this for 5 years. I think we don't need to go too much into that right now. But the other component that's very important to talk about is Dave, right? When you talk about fraud proofs, because nothing that we're building matters unless we have a robust, secure, and good enough fraud-proof mechanism, right? So it's not very helpful to have a machine that is verifiable, deterministic, and it can run computation in a verifiable way. If at the end of the day, someone who is trying to cheat or steal money can just tell the blockchain, something crazy and steal your money without you being able to prevent that from happening. So the other very important line of research and development in Cartesi is fraud proof, and Dave is really we consider, and it is the pinnacle of fraud proofs for optimistic rollups, right? Our colleague Coutinho did great presentations, spoke very well about it at DevCon, drawing a comparison with other algorithms out there, both from off-chain labs and also optimism. And really, in our case, we were able to really render optimistic rollups with this algorithm, really decentralized, permissionless, and if you have a laptop and you're honest, you're even able to prove that your result is correct, even against an entire nation states cheating against you. And you don't need to hold a lot of money to do that, as it is in the case of other algorithms. So we're not only striving to have the best VM for the apps, but also the best fraud-proof algorithm that we're implementing right now. And lastly, I just wanted to say that I'm not very worried about the supremacy of Ethereum, if Ethereum or Solana, who is going to win at the end of the day, because Cartesi as an execution layer is extremely flexible, right? We can run it technically on top of whatever blockchain you want, or whatever DA you want to run. So I guess it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the execution environment and the fraud proof, they have to go hand in hand, right? The only reason why we can have such a powerful execution environment is that we have such a powerful fraud proof mechanism. Because the larger the computation, the more complex the computation, the less people watching the computation, then the harder it is to prove it. So yeah, just a side comment. Please, people, repost this on X, share the link on Twitter, on YouTube, and so on, so other people can join in and talk to us on this blessed new year.
So in terms of engineering efforts, we are fully dedicated. The team is fully dedicated this year to implementing these fraud-proof algorithms as soon as possible. And the virtual machine is already quite well developed. There are things that we can always improve, and there are things in the roadmap, but it's very mature already. So Felipe, if you want to tell everyone anything else about 2025, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. The focus is gonna be getting to stage 2, and a very comfortable stage 2, so we can have really unowned, truly decentralized applications running around using the Linux operating system, running on decades of open source software and so on. So that's Dave, right? That's what we are implementing. We're fully focused on it. The research is out there, the paper is out. And I always like to remind people that our research and development is done in public. So if you want to join in the efforts, you can join our Discord, ask the questions there, start developing, start collaborating. We have some other teams, like big projects in the space who are interested in Dave, have already shown up to our Discord channel to ask some questions. They're thinking about using it. Eclipse is one of them. They're on Discord asking some questions about Dave. So it's great. It's great to give this gift to the ecosystem, and it's a gift that we're using ourselves, right? So it's nice because we know that we have such a strong research team, and I think this was the year that we managed to put it out there and get people to realize that we have a lot to contribute, and we are contributing a lot to the industry in general. So I'm always happy about that.
And speaking of which, we are having an effective, great collaboration with other protocol teams like Espresso, Avail, and also Eigenlayer, right? I think we have the Cartesi Rollups front, but we also have the Coprocessor front, which is extremely promising. And there are great things that are going to happen this year. Very soon, we're going to, things will happen, with the partners. And I think there will be a lot of developments in that front. With Espresso, last year, end of last year, when we were at DevCon, 3 the apps that run on Cartesi have been integrated to Espresso as well. They were demoed, and these teams are still working on these applications. So it's important to show how Cartesi is working well together with other protocol projects in the space, with actual collaboration, right? And I'm actually very happy to see how we are actually being able to really make contributions, one team with the other, and partner effectively. It's not only about empty promises of partnerships, about really we adding efforts to achieve results together. So this was a great thing about 2024, and I'm expecting for us to develop much further in 2025.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think these partners, we have things that we've built with all of them, and we're building more stuff into 2025. Coming up, some collaboration with Eigenlayer as well. It didn't want to leak what it is, but I'm almost doing it. It's gonna be nice. So for those watching, already start thinking about some cool use cases for coprocessors and things that you want to build on coprocessors. There are some stuff coming up that might make use of that. Espresso, we have apps connecting. I'm hoping that we can increase the number of applications building on Espresso and Cartesi this year. Avail as well, we had a very cool hackathon experience with them in ETH Bangkok. So it's great. And I'd like to see more partners coming up and using our tech as well this year. And I'm sure we're going to be in 2026 of many more stories to tell. Should we move on to the presentation?
Let's move on. Let's bring the other people here.
All right. So welcome to another Cartesi ecosystem recap. In January, yeah? So marketing highlights are lovely Cynthia, who is responsible, by the way, for all of this that is happening. She works very hard to make this call a reality. So please, everyone send her love from wherever you are.
Thank you, everyone. Yes. Happy New Year. How are you guys?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Great. First, I wanted to start wishing everyone a happy 2025, to everyone present here, to everyone watching today, to everyone watching the reply. And to answer your question, I didn't start on such a great health, but the good news is that it can only get better. So bear with my voice. I'm a little bit sick today, but yeah, I'm happy to be here once again and walk you through some of the updates and highlights from marketing. So let's dive in and decipher what we have here. So we aimed for this recap to be a bit of a yearly wrap up, to revisit what has happened in 2024, where we are today, and what we are looking forward as we move ahead. So this is more or less what we covered in our year in review blog post. So if you haven't done so yet, I invite you to read it in the blog section on our website. We released this at the end of 2024. So there you will see highlights related to the tech achievements, to the community achievements, to the ecosystem achievements related to the DApps in progress this year. And there we also highlight one of the key initiatives that we focused throughout 2024. And that was building up Cartesi's association with a radically simple narrative and owning this idea as a brand differentiator. And you see there in the right bottom corner, as you might know, we run ads on X, on Google, on YouTube, on Reddit to strengthen and increase this brand awareness of Cartesi as a simple solution for building in Web3. Because we feel this attribute, it's somehow inherent to Cartesi, since Cartesi basically abstracted away a big chunk of this effort of developers, so they don't have to code everything from scratch. So by making use of all the previous software progress achievements of 3 decades of Linux progress, like this Cartesi brings forward a simpler way of building in Web3. And we thought this is starting to resonate a lot with the space and with the builders. And we are happy to report that it generated our ad campaign like more than 155 million impressions. And our landing page saw more than 380,000 new visitors. This is on a global level in Q4. So yeah, overall, we've been happy about these results, and our focus in 2025 will be to leverage this momentum we've built and to expand this brand presence and to build upon this mindshare that we conquered already with this narrative.
Those are impressive numbers. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Of course, it wasn't a unilateral effort. It's everyone has been involved, the foundation as well, our external agency, Blockhouse. A lot of work went into this, but we hope it's already making important waves, and we are reaping up the fruits. And moving a bit forward on another note, many of you already seen our features along the year on Bankless podcast and on Bankless newsletter. So we've been happy to be present throughout the whole year in front of their audiences. And I remember briefing you on different other features for the last months, and to brief you on the December feature, we introduced their subscribers to our Wave 2 of the grants program. And we had this feature that you see in the left corner. The newsletter generated 1,000 visits to the program's details, to our grants Wave 2. And Cartesi banner in this December edition saw more than 2,000 clicks, according to our tracker. So 2,000 Bankless subscribers landed on our blog and read more about this grants program. And let me take advantage here, because we don't have our grants steward today. I want to take this opportunity to also invite builders and whoever is watching right now, all developers, to check our grants program, to learn more about the intents, to learn more about the request for proposals, to understand more about all that, and to apply for a grant, because the beginning of the year, it's a good moment, right, for resolutions and for getting funded to build. So other than that, what else we have? Throughout 2024, we also introduced new pages on our website. So I'm sure by now you're familiar with our page for use cases, with our page detailing the Linux operating system, with our page showing details about the governance system. And for the first time, I want to announce you today the token page. So we went live with this CTSI token page, and I'm personally very excited about this, because I think for the first time we have a clear message for any of the new community members that might be wondering about the token, about the utility, about its role in the ecosystem. And I hope this page is now communicating clearly everything about the utility, about what is the CTSI token doing, like what is its role, and so on. So please, I want to invite you to check it. Is the tab below the governance on the navigation bar. So let us know any feedback or impressions, and we'd love to hear your feedback about this.
And do you have the direct link Cynthia? Is it
It's
cartesi.io /
on our webpage? If you go directly under the governance is right there, CTSI token. I think it's the slug already in place as well.
So cartesi.io / CTSI - token. If you want to go directly.
To go directly indeed. So let me know if you like this new page, if you feel anything else is missing, anything else to add, and we're always open to feedback for anything regarding the website or anything else. Of course, we want to co-create together with the community and with all the ecosystem and with all Cartesians here. And to wrap this up, I want to also mention our holiday hunt that we run during the holidays as a fun way for our community to score some swag. And I think given that today it's also a holiday, right? The Three Wise Men, is this celebrated in Brazil as well, Felipe?
Yes, the day that we take out the Christmas tree and the decorations, I think. Yeah.
Okay, but this in Spain is the three kings that the kings from Orient, they bring gifts to Jesus Christ and to all the kids. So to continue the holiday spirit, we also want to have some gifts today. So for anyone who didn't get yet their simple-minded cap, as this was part of the holiday hunt, we invite you to stay tuned today to watch until the end, because we'll have some codes like dropping randomly and you can claim your simple-minded hat. Yeah, so if you don't have one of these, well, now is the moment. Stay tuned. Keep an eye on the comments, go to our merch shop, claim the code, and just wait to be delivered to your door.
That's
and
great.
That's
awesome.
it. So you're awesome. Thank you everyone.
So it's very important for everybody to stay here until the end.
We started with gifts, with incentives for 2025. So thank you everyone for your attention, and I'll be leaving the stage to someone else. Bye bye.
Bye, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. The chat loves you, by the way, as always. It's amazing. Great numbers, huh, Eric?
Yeah.
I feel like every year we improve a lot.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
All right.
So what comes next?
Well, that's a good question. What's coming up? So as always, at first we have the grantees, the ecosystem, and then a chat about the core tech. Let's get to it. So the grantees updates. This is the usual disclaimer: raw builds, no curation, no filter. So we invite everyone to come participate, experiment, build real things, build experiments, build whatever. So let's start with Rives, Max.
But what you mean is that Cartesi is not necessarily endorsing any result here, right? People are free to experiment with Cartesi as they like, but they are responsible for their own creations.
Of course, we do support them with great infrastructure and with an open channel to ask questions and a community and presentations like this. But we don't endorse them in the sense that we're responsible for what they're building. It's their merit. Yeah. Hey, Max.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Going good. How about you? Any goals for the next year?
Any goals? I don't know. It's tough to write them down, but a bunch of goals, too many. Need to prioritize a bit.
Nice.
But yeah, it's good to be here, and great first part of the call, highlighting the Cartesi machine and all this cool stuff that's going on.
Cool. I'm also excited to hear about Rives, what happened in the end of the year. I think there are many things that you guys were doing, and I think we're all curious.
Yeah. So for anyone new here, Rives is an on-chain console running on Cartesi. So we developed an emulator, a console emulator that can run games. Anyone can build games, and since we're running everything on Cartesi, as when you play games, you can submit your gameplays, essentially saving them on chain, and they're verified, using Cartesi rollups. So you can prove, your scores, your gameplays, in a decentralized way. And, we want to make it kind of an open console where anyone can come and build games. And what we did in the last a month and a half is we had a creator season where we started off with a phase where people could create games during a game jam. We had oh nice we had a bunch of games created, and I created a game as a non-dev using AI. I think we discussed this in the last call. But yeah, this is one of the games, for example, created by Paulo. It's a snake game where that was built during the game jam, and it was one of the 9 games that people could play during the creator season.
Was this soundtrack also produced by AI? It's a cool music.
No. So actually, Paulo didn't. I think he barely used AI. He might have put like a CTSI token in the game as like a. I think he might have used AI to like do that, but he didn't really use much AI. And the song he created himself, I think, using one of the cartridges, the sequencer cartridges that lets you like create music. So he made most of this. In my case, the Penguin game, I used a bit more AI because I'm not a developer. But yeah, so it was really cool to see these 9 games that the community created, be playable essentially within this contest. It was essentially people created games, drag and drop them on Rives, submit a transaction, and now it's playable. And now you have leaderboards that are verifiable. And we, with this contest, we essentially had a leaderboard with all the 9 games. So, the better you performed across these 9 games, the higher you were on this global leaderboard. And yeah, we had, let me see some data here. So we had about 1,400 tapes submitted. So that's gameplays that were stored or saved on chain. Keep in mind, people usually play like a bunch of times before actually saving a gameplay because they want to save on gas a bit, and they want to only show the best gameplays they had.
I saved my best one and my worst one.
And your worst.
They're both equally impressive.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, we should have a special like prize or something for the worst players or for the worst gameplays. Something like that would be cool. Yeah, and we had 136 players or unique addresses because we don't know exactly who a player is, right? That's how it's in crypto. Maybe some bots as well. I don't know. Some agents playing the games would be cool. And we had 9 cartridges created by the community that were playable. And yeah, so that's what we had. And I think it fits into the bigger picture, a little bit because, as I said, we're building this creator-focused console, but where also players are creators, right? Because they're generating these tapes and kind of participating. There's this new way of interacting between creators and players because I, for example, created the sloping cartridge. I could see exactly how people interacted with my cartridge. I could see every single gameplay replayed on chain, see the score. So it creates kind of a new way to kind of also interact between players and builders, and both become kind of creators as well in this context.
And it's cool that when you bring LLMs into the scene, then now you can allow non-developers to create games as well. So for you to be a game creator, you don't have to have necessarily coding skills, and this is super cool.
Exactly. And I think this is also something where Cartesi really shines because I'm not a developer, so I might say complete nonsense here, but there's a lot of like the LLMs are trained on a lot of programming languages, libraries, etc., that exist maybe in Web 2, and that Cartesi can immediately leverage using the Cartesi machine. In our case, Rives can do that, right? So I don't think it would be very easy to build something like a game on another Rollup or another execution environment as it is here in the case of Rives and Cartesi.
Thank you for promoting Cartesi. We appreciate it.
I mean, what do you want to say? Of course, all of this wouldn't be possible without Cartesi. So yeah, great to be here, guys. I don't know if you have any questions or last thoughts.
So are all the games on chain? Snakes on chain? That's
yeah,
nice. I ask that every time just to make sure that people understand that it is all decentralized, fully
It is.
verifiable. This is the first, might be the first snake game that is resistant to nation state attack.
The
First,
world will never be the same again after this, man.
the snake chain that can be attacked
But
by the
it's very
GDP
nice.
of Japan.
And by the way, how many cartridges do you have so far?
So in total on Rives, I think we have around 20-ish. Like we have some that were created that weren't uploaded. But there's a bunch here, and numbers growing. Um, so yeah, anyone can create a game and launch it on Rives, whether you're a dev or not, and it shouldn't take you that long. As a non-dev, it took me 2 days to build a small game.
And what is the game with the highest engagement?
Probably Doom, because we just had like one large contest on one single cartridge. But like we have, and Copter has a ton of gameplays. I think during this contest, my game surprisingly had a lot of engagement. But yeah, I don't know. I think all of these games are unique in their own way, and it's cool to see like different styles, like the puzzle game. Oh yeah, Blade Bomber is also a great one. I see Joao is a Blade Bomber fan. Uh, great game as well. Eduardo created that one during a previous game jam. No, so
Yeah, I
honestly,
played that
you have
one.
to try
I played
them.
that one myself a lot. It's a nice game.
Yeah, it's
Quite
really fun.
addictive.
I agree. Yeah, but I mean, everyone should give it a try. You can play at app.rives.io, and you can try to build a game and just launch it there as well. Wow, quick death.
I got distracted by you talking, man. I was just trying to focus on the game.
Sorry, man.
All right.
All right, Max. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Max.
Great to see things
Yeah.
happening there.
Happy New
Progressing.
Year.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New
All
Year.
right. Next up, we have BugBuster. They are out. Claudio couldn't make it today, so he very kindly sent us a video. Uh, I'll play it, and please let me know if there's sound, if you can hear it. All right.
Hello, hello. Happy New Year, all Cartesians. First ecosystem recap of the
Can you hear it?
year, and we at the BugBuster team, me and Guilherme, are excited to share that we got there finally. We have a promising and working approach to allow smart contract bounties on BugBuster. Last,
Please raise the volume on your own computers. I don't know if you can hear it very well. People are telling me that
Yeah, I can
the
hear
sound
it's
is low.
it's a bit quiet, a bit low, but it's still possible to hear.
All right. I don't know. I cannot increase it on my side. It's already max, so you have to fix it for yourselves.
last ecosystem recap, we we told that our first implementation during the test failed in some case, and then we said that we would try another approach, and then we found another one that is now working, and we are celebrating that. It's still in development stage, but stable enough for anyone to give it a try. We even prepared a nice tutorial showing step by step how to create a bug bounty for a smart contract project from scratch. I'm talking about this here. Uh, this is the tutorial. We start with a brief contextualization, explain the requirements, show how to prepare the project, show the codes. We will introduce a known vulnerability to test the approach. We prepare the assertion script and all the steps that are necessary to create your own bug bounty for a smart contract project. So the link is on our X account. Please go there. It was a tutorial with nice people like it. We reached 600, more than 600 page views views. It brought new members for our community on Telegram. So we read that these numbers, these stats, as people liking the approach, and we are very excited about that. Another news that we'd like to share is that we are updating the Solidity compiler bounds for the newest version 0.8.28, and soon you will be able to play with this smart contract bug bounties on our test net. And there is another tutorial being prepared that will show another aspects of this new feature. So stay tuned, go to follow our updates on the X account, and also join our Telegram development community, and let's talk, let's build this thing together, right? Remember that the support for smart contract bounties will make the software accessible for any Web3 developer to 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 play with it, to try their own smart contracts, their side projects, or even a project that they use, they would like to guarantee security, creating a bug bounty, implementing their own security tests. So there are a lot of potential with that, and this can attract more developers for this feature, can attract more developers for our for this software, for this platform, to grow a community that will make it that will make possible our dream, that is to that BugBuster become a community driven project. That we are working on that direction, but we need the community, the Web3 developers embracing it, and we think that this year we can do good and solid steps on that direction. So these are our news. We're excited about what we did, and very excited that we are starting the year with this nice news, and thinking about what will be uh, possible in the months ahead. But the contribution of everyone is very important. Okay, so that's it. Bye bye.
So that's great. It's a clear, nice update. I really love BugBuster, how it's coming along, becoming mature, as the proposing itself to be the immune system for Web3, the first bug bounty system that runs on Web3 Rails. I think
And
that's
fully
quite
decentralized. Yeah.
fully decentralized. It's an open source project. There is no company behind it trying to get exclusivity around it. It's supposed to be something to be is a gift to the Web3 community, and their objective is to get collaborations from many other protocol projects to make it great, and everybody can benefit from it.
Yeah, I hope people get behind it. I think this new development that Claudio just narrated to us, and I wish he was here so we could ask him some questions. But this new development is so cool, right? The fact that you can easily create bounties for any smart contract. It's a game changer because audits are expensive, right? When the Web3 industry, and at the same time, we see many smart contracts holding funds. They're vulnerable to these attacks, exploits. We see a lot of exploits and hacks around. So this can be a very good solution. I'm quite excited about it. I can't wait to try it. I have it on my to-do list to write some bounties for some smart contracts. So it's cool. And they're doing such a great job. I love their team as well. They're always so
For
nice.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
I hope Claudio's enjoying his much deserved rest.
Great. What's next, Felipe?
All right, next we have
We're
sorry,
Cartesians. First, I could.
Zach, another regular as well on Fastlane.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah. So I'm here to present for Fastlane. Narsham couldn't make it to this meeting. I hope that's fine. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm really excited to present Fastlane. So we did a few things. First of all, we finished all the game modes. As y'all remembered from the last presentation, we showcased the metaverse, the Cartesi metaverse, and we fully implemented that on the website. If I can show my screen, I'll show it a little bit later. We tested the metaverse and we had up to 34 people playing at once. It was really fun. We actually worked with one of the local universities around, and we had an entire classroom just kind of sit down and play Fastlane. It was really funny trying to explain to them what the theme of the Linux penguins were within the Fastlane. So it was fun. And lastly, we're fully on testnet. So let me see if I can present my screen and share Fastlane.
Can I have some background help? Oh, nice.
All right, so if y'all can see this, it'll take you to the Fastlane website. You can just kind of scroll down and you'll notice that there's a Cartesi track and an Ethereum track. If you explore the community tracks and you go to Cartesi, it will take you into the metaverse. And we're still working on the controls. I'm sure that all of y'all can tell it's a little bit glitchy, but for the majority, the game's there. We just need to finalize it and get people to start playing around. So we're really kind of excited about that. There's going to be 2 different game modes. There's going to be the metaverse that I just kind of showcased for y'all, and then there's going to be a mobile version of it. For y'all that have played Temple Run or Jetpack Joyride, you can kind of attest that some of these mundane games that are really easy to play are very popular. So those are the 2 different game modes of Fastlane. So it'll be very, very entertaining.
That's super cool, man. And when people can follow you on X, what is the ad?
Yeah, so y'all can follow me. Y'all can follow us on X. I think that we are at Fastlane_run. We'll be making a few announcements on Twitter after we get the controllers down. The hard part is that the game's so fun, but if it's hard to play, people won't play. So we have to make it fun at first before we go big. But hopefully we'll be going big or going home.
That's nice, man. Congratulations. Super nice to have that many concomitant players. So
Yeah.
Web3, that's a lot, yeah.
I like it. It was fun doing that at the university.
Yeah, João just commented 3D Web3 games.
Yeah, it's very
Nice.
cool. There's too many threes now.
Too many trees. Not enough trees, I'd
Right.
say.
And by the way, just remind me what's actually running on the Cartesi machine for this game.
Yeah, so the entire game loop and game logic are running on the Cartesi machine. We had to use Oasis network for the encrypted obstacles. But other than the obstacles itself, whenever you're playing the mobile game, which is more like Temple Run or Fastlane, it captures your gameplay and then it mints it as an on-chain transaction. So that's it for the most part. We'll write a more detailed thread whenever we announce the game and just kind of detail every integration.
Yeah, it would be cool to have an article or something for us to understand and the community to understand how you integrated these with Cartesi.
Of course. We'll work on that. It'll be out soon.
Cool.
Super cool, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's very exciting.
Very exciting. I think we have to accelerate a little bit because, well, we're not going to be done on time, just so you know, but people who are here till the end have a prize to get. So I'm not that worried about the time too much. But let's go to the... Oh, Zach's the next one as well.
It's me.
World Tycoon.
Hey, guys.
It's
So,
also you.
Yeah, I'm here to present for World Tycoon as well. So for those that are unfamiliar with World Tycoon, it's the original SimCity game. Our amazing head of engineering, Danilo, built this during the ETH Global Online Hackathon in 2023. He was a finalist and it had a lot of attraction. So we kind of wanted to take that further. We want to take it a little bit step further. We hosted a hacker house later last year in 2024. Onboarded a new team for the World Tycoon game and allowed it to where you can tokenize your entire SimCity game and then trade it with other people. One of the biggest problems of games such as SimCity or even Clash of Clans is that you have to start over from zero every time you play. And we wanted people to be able to sell their amazing cities as an NFT. And so you'll read in the update that we finished the backend integration. Now we just need to implement the front end for the application for people to actually play it. Hopefully we'll be doing that rather quick. But as you saw with with Fastlane if the game's not fun. It's not worth playing. So we need to make the front end beautiful and amazing for people to play. The reason why this is important is I'm sure that everyone in this call remembers the hype of NFTs in 2020 and 2021 to where they were just JPEGs. And it wasn't necessarily the greatest use case of that technology, but using Cartesi, we're able to tokenize that entire gameplay, that entire Sim City game, and then mint it as an NFT, transfer it to any EVM compatible chain, and then sell it. For people that play Clash of Clans, you can always see the top leaderboard. Imagine if you could click and buy one of those cities. So it's really exciting. We finished the back ends. Now it's time for the front ends. We'll see how that goes, but that's our update. Looking forward to 2025.
Nice. You're privatizing an entire city. I'm sure the libertarians are going to love that.
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll
selling the entire city at once.
I don't know. Maybe bad publicity is good publicity, but we might have to lean into it.
Nice.
I'm prepared to receive an army of NPCs and agents building cities and stuff on World Tycoon.
I imagine we could. People were able to do this with the original SimCity game. So since it's all open source and since Cartesi is so amazing with their Linux OS, I imagine that it would be a relatively interesting thing for us to look into. That might be really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like it. All right.
All right.
See y'all later.
That was amazing.
Take care, Zach.
Take care. Next up, we have Drawing Canvas.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Dimitri, nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So, the quick update on the drawing canvas. Since we met the last time, we've been primarily focused on testing and identifying bottlenecks with our application. And we're actively preparing the application for testnet deployment. Right now, we have a really tiny beta version, which is already deployed on testnet on Sepolia with Espresso, but it's still for entirely internal testing. And basically, we're experimenting with the technology in general. One of the upcoming short-term plans that we have is to redesign slightly the way that we're storing data with the application. Part of the data will be offloaded to an online database. Right now, everything is stored on Rollups, which is causing some issues, and we're trying to basically remove it and improve the overall UX of the application, having faster response time and loading of all the drawings that we have in the drawing canvas. Then, as part of the midterm plans that we have, is to deploy a fully functional application on testnet again with Espresso. The fully functional application will present all the features that we have part of the drawing canvas, including the contests. I already spent some minutes the last time to talk about the contests that we will have in the application, but they will be released probably in the coming weeks. And then as the long-term plan for the application, hopefully with the next months, we'll have the application deployed on mainnet, where everyone obviously will be able to enjoy the fully functional drawing canvas with all the features that we'll be presenting then. And of course, in the meantime, everyone will be welcome to test and provide feedback on testnet and all the other channels that we will be sharing with you guys. So this is the quickest update. I know that we are limited with the time right now, but if you have any questions, just let me know.
No, I just want to say that I'm quite excited about drawing canvas. I think it's super fun, and I think the campaign you guys are going to run with Espresso can be very nice, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right before Christmas, I drew a beautiful Christmas tree that I wanted people to decorate, but unfortunately, I left very little time for minting, for contributing, and everyone was out celebrating with their families. So my Christmas tree was empty, but I had so much fun doing it. I'll do it again on the espresso campaign.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Nice to see you,
Bye,
man.
Mira. Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Next up, Shaheen. Hello. Happy New Year, man.
Hey,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
How are you doing?
Doing great. It was amazing New Year, and wish you all had hope you all had a great New Year as well. So, Comet. For those of you who don't know, Comet is about co-writing, writing some beautiful piece of written art and co-minting it together. Like you can mint these pieces that you have written in the form of ERC1155, and you can co-monetize, meaning all the revenue, all the shares of that particular piece that people are minting, the collectors are minting, the proceeds from it, the profits from it are equitably distributed among all the contributors that contributed to those particular jams. What's our update from our side? This past year, we did a lot of things, a lot of events as well, some new updates. And the thing that we did was now the prototype is live. It's a full functional prototype. Now you can create the jams. You can see a leaderboard, which looks pretty nice with all the jam scores and all. And you can start your own jam. You can invite your friends. They can start appending to those jams, which is pretty cool. We deployed this on Sepolia as our base layer and Espresso for all the inputs as our layer 2 for the data availability. Yeah, that's there. Thank you so much for showing this. This is the one, like you can see all those avatars, people joining, and this is the leaderboard that we have. You can see the total earnings. We define a simple algorithm, which is based on how many people contributed, how many total mints it's getting. So on the basis of that, we give it a score, which is like completely decentralized, and we put all this logic inside Cartesi. So pretty interesting. And also, I want to mention this is a very simple application for anybody who's trying to learn any application development on Cartesi. If somebody wants to build a dApp, you can go look at the code of Comet. We also started the JavaScript series where you can see how Comet was built, which is pretty cool if you want to start with a simple application, understand all the components of it, and also want to integrate Espresso or maybe another DLA or something. You can take a look at Comet. We did these events. We participated in the on-chain summer base hackathon, and we did this event during DEF CON, Back to the Future with Espresso. We did the demo of Comet, which was pretty cool. We got live feedback from people. People were creating their jams, appending to them. And after this, what we are doing right now is we are upgrading to this Node V2, Rollups V2, so that we have this complete loop of assets, to withdraw assets as well, have the voucher functionality and all these things. You'll be soon able to see those things once we go and release the next update of it. So the bigger picture will be you'll be having this full functioning experience of a social dApp with assets, and which is pretty simple and cool to play around. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Shaheen.
Thank you so
That's
much.
great. Thank you.
Looking forward to writing some poetry. It's not my biggest ability, but it's always fun
It's
to
nice
do.
when you look at Comets, the drawing canvas, and Rives, you see these three projects have something in common, right? They are defining new ways of conceptualizing NFTs. Like people can have rights of ownership over cartridges and games in the case of gameplays in the case of Rives, and pieces of art in the case of drawing canvas, and a shared piece of poetry or text, whatever, on Comet. So those are interesting areas of exploration.
Yeah, they're defining ways to co-create online, right, and to own collectively digital assets, which is kind of cool. All right, next up we have Think and Dev.
Okay.
People, hello people, welcome back.
Hey guys, thank you. Happy New Year, first of all,
Happy New Year.
and for the community as well. So yeah, I've been talking about two different projects today. That Cynthia suggests us this update focus on a kind of recap for 2024 and what we have been working with the Cartesi ecosystem. So first of all, I will talk briefly about board game framework. We are still running. We're still developing the board game framework, as well as we thought in the previous recaps. We have milestone 1 and 2 already completed, and also part of the milestone 3 with the lobby functionality to manage multiple matches. And we are working currently on the communication milestone. There is an XMTP for chatting, for different players for chatting in as they played, or in the case of multiplayer matches, the teams could be in play talking to each other and stuff. Also randomness through Cartesi Rand, the tool developed by Fabio and Bruno. We started to talk a little bit before holidays, but of course then we were on holidays and everything missed a little bit. And also we have expanded our scope for implementing those secrets and the round. We were adapting the classic card game. It's the Chinchon. It's like a Chin Rummy for testing and showcasing advanced and feature like secret and randomness for the Cartesi ecosystem and see how they could implement it. So we are closing to finalize the XMTP hopefully for the next weeks, and also the secrets parts. The run became a little messy for us, but we are confident that we will be and it's solved it in a while. That's the last project that we're working. That's the board game framework, but also we have another slide. I took the liberty to do it. That was the whistleblower. That was our first project with the Cartesi Grants program. It was in the early 2024 that we were working with this project as part of grant from the CGP, and we developed a proof of concept for running a YOLO model with OpenCV in the Rives 5 Cartesi machine for detecting and capturing and reporting vehicles in with the wrong parking position, parked incorrectly, and trying to make the citizens part of it by allowing them to take a photo and submit it to the Cartesi app when the YOLO is run, and you can get the traffic plate, the license plate, sorry, and then inform to the offense to the government agency in charge of the applied fine, right? So for that goal, we have developed some repo for wheels, the Python wheels in Rigs 5, which was a kind of side product of our proof of concept, but became really nice to have because it allowed us to give the community another source of code or stack for allowing them to develop some different things. In fact, with Danilo, we have some chat lately about building some new versions of pre-known Python libraries like NumPy and stuff. So that was really really joyful for us to do it, to contribute to the ecosystem. Now we are trying to think about new applications of that proof of concept. We are thinking of extend those learnings from the whistleblower and the implementation of these kind of models into the Cartesi machine to integrate to IoT solutions. So we are looking forward to build up some solutions with IoT and AI with Cartesi in the 2025. So we are pretty excited about it because we really love to develop new things and stuff. And we're very excited about making this possible.
I'm sure you're going to find many possibilities of experimentation with AI in Cartesi in 2025.
We're very thrilled with it.
The AI mindshare has skyrocketed in the Web3 industry. It's kind of crazy to see. It's like I was looking at some statistics. It's like 80% of 80%, 70% of the chatter around Web3 is related to AI on this past month. The AI engines and stuff. Oh, there's a.
All right, people. Thank you very much.
Right.
We have to run a bit here because we passed the time a long time ago.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a nice year. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Let's go for the ecosystem updates then. First up, Garcia. Hello.
Am I on? I'm on. Hey, everyone. How are
Hello,
you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey. So, for the 2024 recap here, I listed almost everything that we did that was mostly relevant in this year. And I want to talk a little bit about how we are scaling and revamping everything that we're doing to have a better journey, a better evolution plan, and so you guys can have a good insight. So we started the year with Developer Advocacy Seed Grants Program and Masterclasses, which was, in my opinion, huge success. We did get many projects, more than 70 applications for Developer Advocacy Seed Grants, tens of projects approved. So we did have a great opportunity to work together with developers and understand what was happening. Also, the masterclasses that funneled developers towards our Developer Advocacy Seed Grants program that now has finally ended, but it is now taking some shape inside CGP, right? So people can apply for smaller single milestone grants, which is very nice right now. I really recommend everyone to see it because it's taking a nice form and we're really excited to what is going to become. So take a new look at the new CGP, just a shout out right here. And yeah, we did so many events and workshops, got a lot of experience from that, and that ended up becoming a huge resource or foundation for what became afterwards our Udemy courses. We started with one, revamped it, and then created 3 other ones, another one on the go. It's a little joke because the next one is Golang. But yeah, another one in the go. And that led us to also revamp our docs. We started 2024 with a dev guide. It became a docs v1. And then we even created our experimental external docs so we can have flexibility and try lots of things without compromising the robustness and good quality of what we already have in the official content and resources. And we were able to also experiment ourselves in the dev ed unit with our own dApps and integrations. So we created dApps like Turtlish, like the Playground, a Memebet, and many others, and integrate with other projects like Push Protocol, Chronicle. We had participation in the developer journey of Avail and Espresso, happily. And now we are also taking part of what Felipe mentioned, Eigenlayer. I will try not to spoil a lot, but if you go to our external docs, you can already have a good idea of what's happening there. And of course, the podcast. And we are, of course, thinking of many ways of streamlining this, making it better, improving, as I mentioned. Many events and online workshops that we used to do now are much more scalable with our Udemy courses, as our masterclasses, and developer advocacy seed grants now inside the CGP have more support and exposure. So everything is turning out pretty well. We're very happy with the results, and I left there the same image as the last time of the ETH Global, because I think that was the culmination of everything that we did. It was really good to see people that had developed with Cartesi before, people that didn't develop with Cartesi before, coming together, working in new projects, new solutions, with integrations that we prepared, with integrations that were extremely experimental. And yeah, every content helped.
Great update. very, very nice results you guys had in 2024. And I told you that before, but I was particularly impressed by the fact that we came to a point now that people can develop on Cartesi by themselves without hand holding. Because in the past, it was very hard for people to start by themselves. We finally got to a point now that technology is much easier to use, and you guys developed awesome documentation, tutorials, videos that now people can just go on their own. So that's great.
Yeah, thank you a lot, and kudos for every core unit that made it possible, because the robustness of the tech is a piece of art that they made themselves.
I love the image of everything culminating into the ETH Global, because I guess that's in a way what we're doing, right? Every single effort and initiative is supposed to culminate into this thing that is ready for the community to use and enjoy and create awesome things with it. So nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Couldn't agree more.
Thank you, João.
Right.
Looking forward to the next year. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Next ecosystem recap. I think Zach is doing this one as well. Zach is monopolizing the the eco recap this time.
I am.
There seems like a Zach attack today here.
Yeah,
It might be an AI
Zach
agent that's
Siegel.
been cloned.
Zach
Zach attack.
Go ahead.
Good. All right, so let's get into the update. I know that we're a little bit behind, so I'll speak a little bit quicker. So there's a few updates within the ecosystem growth unit within December. We have a new initiative called the Cartesi Coprocessor. It's a very interesting initiative. I'm probably going to leave that to a different slide, but there's a lot of importancy whenever it comes to this coprocessor in general, through different integrations, through different economic models. There's a lot of value that this brings to the ecosystem. We'll be discussing it a little bit further, probably in an article, Twitter space, or different slides. We also work to support a lot of different projects, as you saw within this recap. There's a list of different projects, and within 2024 in general, something that was pretty core within the ecosystem growth team was to build out the ecosystem and do that through partnerships with different projects, whether it's Rives with Base or Fastlane with Oasis Protocol, or the Drawing DApp with Espresso, or even World Tycoon with Laos Network. There's a plethora of partnerships that we've been working to just kind of expand this protocol stack and kind of get Cartesi just everywhere within every protocol. We were really able to multiply awareness within a lot of different industries, whether it was global, but also our efforts within Brazil, as you'll see within UFF within the next few slides. We had a lot of different events within the United States, within Asia, and we're really kind of expanding the ecosystem to hit that metric that we're all looking forward to. 2025 is going to be a really interesting year. We've had different applications launch on mainnet, such as Rives within last year. We have OnChess, which is also on mainnet, BugBuster, which is also on mainnet, and we're looking to just kind of keep building the ecosystem more, keep adding more applications, and go from there. Yeah, it's exciting, but I got to give a big shout out to the developer advocacy team and all the engineers on the Cartesi team in general. I, as a non-developer, am able to organize and host a hackathon all myself, onboard people myself, all through this Udemy course and this amazing tooling that everyone's been able to build. I remember the first few hackathons that we did, which is actually where we onboarded the Fastlane team in 2021 at MIT, coming out of Hack Boston, and it was minorly difficult to build a Cartesi. That was our first hackathon that we had ever done, and now it's such an amazing onboarding tool to just kind of onboard Python developers, onboard Web 2 developers, and bring them into Web 3 without them having to learn anything new. Whether they're game developers coming into Rives, whether they're security researchers coming in through BugBuster, Cartesi really has grown within 2024, and 2025 is going to be very exciting. So yeah, I guess that was it. That was probably a little fast.
No, that was great. I also shared excitement for next year. And I really like what you said, that you as a non-developer can host a hackathon just based on the...
It's pretty amazing. I can walk into a university, organize a hackathon. Bruno can walk into a university in Brazil, organize a hackathon. It's so easy to use Cartesi now, and the possibilities are growing. Every application that you see coming within these updates are just examples. They're glimpses to the 1% of what you could do with Cartesi, and we're really looking to explore that. It's going to be very exciting.
Nice. Kudos, man. And shout out to the DevBad unit.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, that's my last
Right.
slide. You're not going to see me again. Don't worry.
All right. See you next month.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Next step. Oh, I think I might have to update. Wait. All right. Is it working now?
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
It is.
Guto.
Hello, Eric. Hello,
Hello.
Felipe. Happy New Year, everyone. So
New Year.
thank you very much for having me here again.
Happy
So
New
it's a
Year.
pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me as well. And I hope everyone had a great time by the end of December. So let me try to be very quick. I have 3 updates here for you from the community of UFF. The first one is about the project that I think in last November, I gave some introduction here about this national blockchain observatory that we have in Brazil. And I just got a founding program project for with basically 3 main objectives. The first one is to put Cartesi on the top of the bezel. So we are working on that. So this is one thing that's under development. The other thing is develop some dApps in collaboration with the Niterói municipality. So we have 2 main dApps that has been developed on that. The first one is to control the buses. The second one is the electrical bike that we have in the city. And another thing is that all this project is based on new technology or new idea of AI, which is machine learning. So we have, what is new here is that we have some of those algorithms or models running already on Cartesi machines. So soon we are gonna have as deliverable and share with the community some of those tutorials and example of machine learning on Cartesi machine is available for the community. I hope that by the end of this month. So why is that important? Because for that, the big Brazilian community will be able to experiment Cartesi in the national backbone, blockchain backbone or network, right? So the second update, if you couldn't pass Felipe, I don't know who's controlling exactly. The second update, well, feel free to just interrupt me, okay? I don't know if you have any questions.
I just want to say I find it quite exciting the initiatives you guys are having there with the first update that you gave, the Bezel initiative, and also the AI one. Very promising lines of experimentation.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the second one is about the course that we have here. This is the 3rd semester that I teach a course with that's a Web3 course, but it's basically a very hands-on course, and all the hands-on is based on Cartesi. And I have here to reaffirm all that João and Zach said. For the students today, 2024 was much easier to develop, to make progress, to understand about Cartesi, to create projects with Cartesi, with all the documentation, with all the support that the Cartesi is giving, all the new possibilities for developing on the top of Cartesi. So it was a huge change from the end of 2023 to the end of 2024. So I want to congratulate all the group and all the folks for that, okay? So we have these 3 courses, 4 courses going on 4 different institutions. And what's new here is that there is a new university that wants to join this initiative and have this course running on the universities now, the Federal of Bahia. I'm from Bahia, by the way, so I have some friends there. They invite me to give this course there. This will be a short version of the course in an intense way, like 1 or 2 weeks, but it's gonna be fun to show them the Web3 course based on Cartesi, which is really good. And also there is another initiative of the government, which is Hackers to Bang. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's a big problem to form students, so to create critical mass about security. And they basically have some of those courses for the community, especially for students. And I'm trying to negotiate with them to offer these Web3 course also for this community. It's always online. Some of those courses have more than 100 students, so I'm trying to convince them to have this course for the students in the Hacker Domain program. Okay, so the idea here is expose a lot of students, feature developers for the Cartesi and okay.
You know, it makes me so happy to see like Cartesi being used in universities, especially in my home country, you know, Brazil, and seeing such a nice job that you're doing, getting students into this world, and they can do so much good. And what I like about the students, young people in general, is that they want to do good usually, right? They're still not jaded and skeptical, so they're ready to embrace the innovations, and I think so much cool things can come out of this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Felipe. It's amazing how the students, they get engaged on that. And this is related to the third topic here. They also, not only students, not only freshman students, but also grad students. I have some research groups that work with blockchain, not on the concept of theory of blockchain, but they apply blockchain or use blockchain for many solutions. And we come up with the first paper that use Cartesi as proof of concept of the research that we are developing. And this paper was presented on the CCA conference, which is a blockchain conference last December in Dubai. This is the title of the paper. And this paper involves 4 institutions, which is UFF, UFRJ, Mato Grosso do Sul University, and Rio Grande do Norte University. So people from other universities, also researchers from other universities are also getting aware of the Cartesi. And we also have a new paper that's going on, probably is going to be submitted next month, which is going on projects related to this topic. So this is nice because we see people from research community, international research community, also get exposed to Cartesi and all the possibilities. And we always have comparison in terms of performance evaluation, for example, comparing Cartesi or something that was implemented in Cartesi with some others. Sometimes there is a solution that we are trying to compare, which is Brain. I don't want to get into detail, but it's a layering solution. We always get much better performance than this other one. So it's always a pleasure to be here. I don't want to take much of your time, but yeah, thank you very much. And I hope nice 2025 to everyone, and the collaboration, I hope is you going on here.
You know, Guto, your updates are always one of my favorite ones. And I just wanted to let you know that if you need anything, any help, if your students want to have questions, the researchers, we're here to help. Their Discord is available. Everyone gets super excited about what you're doing. So please consider us friends and partners, and just
for sure.
Thank you so much for expanding the reach of Cartesi and awareness of Cartesi in Brazil, which is our home country. I think we feel very grateful for that. And I think there is an immense potential to be developed here. So
yeah, we totally agree, Eric. And I just to Felipe, the students in the research, they flew the Discord with several questions, and I also want to thank everyone for all the support because they helped me a lot. I don't need to answer much.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, so Happy New Year. Let's move on.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye-bye. Well, Guto stuff always baffles me away, man. Let's go to Cortec. So we have PRT walks so Dave can run.
I think that this will turn out to be the longest ecosystem recap ever, huh? You're gonna get there.
My goal is to get to 5 hours, which is it's a big ecosystem. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, Pedro.
Yeah, I can stretch this to 2 minutes if you want to break the record. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. No, that's okay. You can do it fast. We'll plan better next time.
Yeah. So we had a really cool meeting the end of last year to explain what we've been doing with Dave and the PRT, the rest of the core developers. And last year, like Felipe said, we've been doing a lot of research with fraud proofs, and PRT and Dave and Coutinho have been giving these awesome presentations. But we didn't have yet an implementation that we could show and start integrating with dApps and the other parts of the Cartesi stack. And at the end of the last year, we managed to complete the core functionalities to really dive into it this year. We are really excited. We are so proud of what we've built. It's a lot of code, complicated code, but it's working. So we released the PRT smart contracts, a PRT off-chain client, and the Dave consensus. And I think what's most interesting for this call here is the testing framework. That's basically a simulation of a dispute running. You can move to the next slide, please. Where you can have Sybil attackers with some strategies, and it runs the dispute, shows the logs of what's happening, and then the hero, the correct Sybil, wins on the end. So that's a nice integration test. It's nice for people to run it and see things happening, because the code base is really complicated. I wouldn't recommend anyone to just go in and dive into it without just to get a superficial understanding. So if you just want to see it running, this is the place you should go for now, the testing framework. And then we have a lot of plans this year to improve visualizations, to add new tools on top of the PRT, so it's more trackable and have better visibility.
So basically, you're so confident in the algorithm that you're helping people script bad behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice. I'm excited to be staged so soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. As we've been discussing, go for it, Derek.
No. I just want to say, agree. It's awesome progress and super important fundamental piece of the entire technology.
Yeah, and it's still, there's a lot of things to do to improve it and new research to come. It's endless in a good way, right? There's a lot of things to.
Yeah,
we are a lot of fun to be had.
Is that you can proudly say that once PRT and then Dave are implemented, we're going to have the best fraud-proof mechanism in the industry, and you can say that.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Pedro. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
All right. Now we have our own Milton here.
Hello there.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Milton.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy sunny day.
Yeah. Let's hope it keeps sunny. So, yeah, we had like to give some updates on what went on in December. Where are the slides? Can you put the slides back, please? I think Predictive is out. So in December, we had some interesting developments in terms of technical developments. And one thing that I like to tell people is that whoever is interested in a deep dive into technical developments, of course, you can always go to Discord and participate there. But to make things easier, we have a weekly technical coordination calls on Wednesday. And to make it easier for everybody, what we are doing now is to have teams frequently perform like in-depth technical reports on what they're doing. So that includes the current state of the work, plans ahead, and the broader context of why they're doing their work and what's going on. So it's a great way for people who are really interested to do the deep dive. So even if the code is complex, the concepts are sometimes something that you could understand and then go deeper into the code, knowing what's it all about. And we had 3 of those in December, which were really nice. First one was about Node v2 and integrations that we're developing on top of it. I myself was very much involved in that. So in general, I'm not sure if there's any way that I can paste some links here. These would be the links that let's see if people can put it out. But for every one of these, we have a recording and also the slides for the presentation. So for this one, we were covering Node v2 itself, which is a very important step. No, just a link, please.
Oh, sorry. So I think that's someone can.
Yeah. So the Node v2 itself is a step towards Rollup v2, which will support these fraud-proof systems that we're developing, and also supports integrations that we're developing, which expand use cases for applications, because we can integrate with OutDA solutions, other sequencers. So we're doing that with Espresso and Veil, and it also fosters collaboration with these external projects that are really nice. So we covered all that. We covered having already free applications that some of them already presented today, like Comet and Drawing Canvas. We also had DCA Monster that showcased at DevCon. We also had a nice hackathon with a Veil integration at ETH Global that Joan was mentioning a bit. So that was the first QCC that we had. Second one was about the Coprocessor, which did an overview of an extremely interesting developments that are going down there. This is a huge effort that people from several collaborations are doing on top of EigenLayer. And the goal is actually to have a working coprocessor. Coprocessor is like, you know, from EigenLayer, if people are not familiar, you can off-chain a specific complex computation, do it and using restaking from EigenLayer with a security guarantee for that, and get the response back to your smart contract. People are gearing up to have this operational for an experiment week, so that we could have hackers play around with it around February using Holesky testnet. And so this was presented on that QCC. There's still work to do. They're preparing this development environment and documentation. This is a new avenue. Eric referenced that before. And it's very interesting. We open up lots of interesting avenues for us. Check out the Coprocessor channel on Discord to have more information about that. And the third one was exactly about our fraud proofs, PRT, which is our first algorithm that we're implementing, and we will be evolved to Dave. As people know, so if people can make the links available, I can paste those on the technical coordination channel in a bit. So it's already there, but to summarize it, I'll place it there again. So we have been implementing this first algorithm, which is called PRT, which was mentioned there. We do have a more sophisticated one called Dave, for which a detailed technical article has already been out and was presented at DevCon, actually. As Pedro was mentioning, PRT is being implemented so that it's already pretty much good enough for people to use if you're not, because PRT is not so resistant to Sybil attacks in terms of delaying the answer, the final settlement. But it's good enough for many applications that don't need to protect against massive Sybil attacks by nation states or something like that. So it's worth finalizing the implementation. We'll learn a lot about it, and most of it will be used by Dave afterwards. So it's good for us to put it out there.
Just to reinforce something. Yeah, no, you mentioned it, but in passing, it's not that PRT is not safe. Just the nation state cannot attack it, but it can delay the result, right?
Exactly.
So Japan could delay your Rollup for a while. You couldn't change the result. So you can still defend yourself against Japan, but it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, but still, if you're having a very massively used application that has a huge amounts of TVL there, and delaying it is a huge problem. Delaying the settlement is a huge problem, and then like major corporations or nation states could delay it for months or something. That could be a problem. So that's why we are developing a better version of it. But for many applications, it's good enough to have the first algorithm there. And again, it will be already, once it's done, it's already stage 2 rollups.
Yes.
Technically speaking. So
going for the green pizza on L2 beat.
Yeah. So these 3 happened in December. They were great. As I said, I'll actually doing that right now on the technical coordination channel that was just mentioned there. I'm going to paste the links for all these. But we can go on and talk about what's coming next.
Cool. Just side comment, the calls were great. All these 3 calls, I had the pleasure to participate. So I really like the new format. I think everyone they're very technical. So therefore people who are deeply involved and following code by code, line by line of code, but very much worth to watch. And let's go for priorities. Are you excited for 2025, Milton?
Yeah. So Eric mentioned in the beginning of this call how Web3 was evolving as an industry, and I fully agree. I think in general, the industry is going towards more, let's say, mainstream implementation, like doing things more than the use cases that we had before were a bit limited and sometimes full of hype. But getting serious, right? And this getting serious also means, as was made clear by people from L2Beat and others, and Vitalik himself, that we need to get serious about scaling rollups as well, scaling Ethereum. And rollups, they need to get to grow up and become stage 2, right? They need to have fraud proofs in place. Otherwise, they're not really decentralized. You're still trusting someone to run the layer 2 nodes, right? So we're excited to become stage 2 rollups this year. And I think it will be a big step for Web3 in general, because only the projects that are really aiming to do it right will be now labeled as rollups, right? So I think it's a big step for us and for the industry to go towards doing things right. And this is our intention in terms of putting out the full package, which is rollups V2 and fraud proofs. And that will also come along, as I said, with some other features that we're including, like enhanced vouchers that allow delegate calls and other features for having your layer 2 results reflect on the base layer. Also support for integration with other solutions for data availability and sequencers. And also for operators of the nodes, nodes will be able to run many applications at the same time without replicating so much infrastructure. And that will be like very important for actually doing things right seriously, that nodes will be able to run applications efficiently and be cost effective. Other than that, we're also looking for the Coprocessor initiative to reach mainnet. Main task there ahead is to have a proper economic model there. There are sketches already in place for that. As I said, we are already having an event. This is in a partnership with Eigenlayer. And then we the integration that we mentioned before, we want to bring those to mainnet. It's not only that Rollup V2 will support those, but we need to integrate these other platforms with the fraud proof system. So once we have the fraud proof system working, we need to make fraud proofs specifically for proving data on these other systems, which is perfectly doable, but needs to be done. And also we'd like to have the ability for Cartesi applications, be them in the coprocessor or be them rollups, that they can access data from the base layer in a more general way, which we call that base layer access. So basically you could go over data from Uniswap or from wherever and process those events, taking advantage of the high computational capabilities of the Cartesi machine and have those results reflect back to the base layer. So this will be very nice and open up lots of use cases as well. And also in 2025, as Pedro was mentioning, research never stops. So there's a lots of stuff to do in terms of opening up possibilities for 2025 and beyond. The fraud proof system itself, once we do it, we want to integrate it with ZK, which will allow the next steps to make the delays that we mentioned become much more manageable and useful. We also want to invest in a file sequencer that will have alternative DA support. There's different approaches that we can have for storing app state. We call that Lambda, so that the application itself is stateless and the state is isolated from the rest of the application, which has several interesting benefits. We can have better ways of upgrading software, better ways of exposing that state for clients. So right now, people have some difficulties extracting state from the application. You can use inspect calls for that, but there are some scalability issues there. You can use what we call the GraphQL API, which are ways for the application to post some outputs that you could index and query from the client side. But with Lambda and some other things, we could have this in a much nicer way, so that application state is much easierly accessed by clients. And finally, we also want to invest research in the node marketplace, which will allow all CTSI token holders to incentivize reader and validator nodes. So I guess that's what summarizes from my perspective what we are aiming for 2025.
That looks quite comprehensive. I think that's it. You nailed it.
It's gonna be a year of a lot of work, huh? It's gonna work
Always.
hard 2025. Yeah. Luckily, it's a pleasure to work on such innovative and complicated things, right? I think
and it's a real pleasure to see the results coming after, sometimes years after the research is done. So as we saw now with all the grantees and all the applications coming up, these were built in the years that came before. So it's gratifying to do this research and to prepare this groundwork, because you see that the results come afterwards.
It's encouraging. Plus all the lessons we've learned in terms of a team organization, development process, cooperation with other projects. I think this is all going to compound for much better results from now on.
Yeah, I think we had a very successful 2024, and 2025 is going to be even greater. It's beautiful to start the year with a call like this. I'm like revigorated, renewed, seeing all the cool applications, seeing the research, seeing us getting taught on universities, federal universities, seeing us getting talked about in the Niterói municipality. I don't know if people outside Brazil know that like Niterói is not a small city, it's a big city. It's actually a very beautiful city as well. So it's exciting, and I've been hearing through the I don't remember how to say these sayings. Being hearing through the vineyard, to the cracks, some cool, exciting stuff to come as well, like this getting adopted in companies and cities and so on. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think you have arrived at very, very well, Felipe. I think, I'm very positive. There's immense potential, and we're doing super well, and many exciting things coming down the road.
Awesome. So let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks,
All right.
everyone. Happy 2025, and stay close with Cartesi. Help to spread the word. Bring people in. Let's build a future that's great for everyone. All the best.
Yeah, follow us on X. Come talk to us on Discord. Share the word and be happy.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.